The Indian telecom industry is going through a transformation phase. Important among them is creating a network infrastructure available to the masses. Over the time, there have been always a disconnect, maybe digital, maybe physical, maybe demographic, maybe connectivity by road, power. So the telecommunication is able to cover these things very fast. And the priority of the government has been firstly to connect, that's one area. Second point is once I connect, what do I next? So there needs to be a content to be seen. Now content can be in different areas. It can be in entertainment, that is easiest to sell and easiest to use. Other could be the government information which is required, government wants to people to know. Third one could be education, then health. So all these content, these areas are got to be built up. So this, unless a complete ecosystem comes, just to create a connectivity to the rural areas or even in urban areas, won't work. So all arms of the government, all the areas government is working. Just let me go to the background why RailTel was created. RailTel was created primarily to make the telecom infrastructure available to telcos to facilitate them roll out the voice network. So once the voice took a big leap, so every telco created network. So RailTel's role remained limited. So this is a cabinet decision. After that, RailTel worked out on the areas where there is a demand. Broadband happened to be the area where the RailTel serves the people. We do meet railways requirement. That's very limited. There's only 10%, but we meet all the requirement of railways. Then we work with all major telecom operators, create them connectivity. Then we work with other MNCs, other data service providers, and also government to a large extent. So we have been pioneering creating national knowledge network. We are partnering with DOT for creating the network in Northeast between district and block under the USO fund program. And then we are also part of a NOFN project. What we are doing now next stage is to get into this, transforming these government services into a medium which is acceptable to people. Like we are working for connectivity. So if I do connectivity, then we have to create a Wi-Fi first, just to create a digital awareness. It's a part of our program, a digital literacy program and digital awareness program. Before do anything, the awareness is more important. So as per that program, as decided by cabinet and directed by minister, we are tied up with Google, and in the process we are providing this broadband at 400 stations. With the wonderful speeds of anything between 2 Mbps to 25 Mbps are doable, and large number of people just come to station just to have an experience of the broadband because it's not readily available, particularly youngsters and teenagers who do have a feature phone or a good phone, but they cannot use that. Second part, once the stations are there, the awareness increases. We also try to do other stations. There are 4,000 stations in rural cities, and about, if you take a 5-kilometer radius, there is a population, large population lives around. So the station could act as a hub of the activity because it is a secured infrastructure, power supply is available and broadband is available, which is not there in other parts. If you just go to rural and want to go in a big way, the power itself is not there. So you make some alternative arrangements. So again, the reliability becomes a challenge. It works as long as the power comes. So this is the area, and what next we want to do on this is, we want to facilitate education and health, which has been our focused area of work. In education, we are tying up with state governments. Right now, there is not much clarity on what to do in education, because itself a complex subject, like syllabus is different. People want to teach, vocational is easy to do. So we are getting into vocational, that is okay, teach computer, teach some skill development. All these programs, we are trying to create them connectivity, so that is available everywhere. We have a telepresence program by which we provide video conferencing as a service. Very easy to set up, no capex is required by the user, and then just set up and his network is done. Similarly, we are doing on medicine front. Recently, we have tied up with the ESIC, Employees State Corporation, and by which we are managing their complete infrastructure of around 2,200 dispensaries and 200 hospitals throughout India, which covers around 2 crore employees and about 12 crore families. So, complete their infrastructure and network to manage and maintain, so that it can be done with the efficiency and the reliability, and naturally it goes up the moment we increase the speed, because we are the service provider, we can create access to infrastructure. So, those services which are just working on a basically purely on administrative platform, I should say, very low speed. Once a proper speed is there, then everybody in those areas gets connected. We are also working with Ministry of Health for the infrastructure. We are working with EPFO. So, all these government organizations, because we have the experience from railways, how to deal with government and what is the reliability of asset required. So, these areas we are working, and this is what RailTel we feel that is going to contribute mainly in the government's aim for Digital India. We are also working with universities now, because every university wants broadband, like they want to pester students. So, the students should also get broadband, because they are the people who are going to change the next generation. So, universities are wanting for it, colleges are wanting for it. Now, there is a debate that up to what level college we give a broadband, that is going on. So, Kerala we are doing a lot of work, we connected some schools, Rajasthan we are going to connect certain schools. So, it is going on in different platforms, but focus is primarily because we do not own any licensed spectrum. We work through Wi-Fi infrastructure and wherever the opportunities are available, and we are helping government with Digital India program, including railways, like Aadhaar shading, Aadhaar linking, all these things. Just once I am here, there is one more model of broadband we have been trying, because if you heard in the, if you are tracing the media or the information, generally the biggest challenge is the access network, which is not available, and that becomes the biggest challenge. You have connectivity, but it can't reach your home or office. So, we worked out on a model, because most of the cable operators around the country have laid fiber network, and that fiber network is underutilized, because they are using only for their cable signal, and they can't use it for broadband because they do not have license. We are working with cable operators. We have called it a railwire model. Presently, it is launched in South India. I am happy to announce we have 100,000 plus customers, and it is like a prepaid model. You can log in, and the cable operator manages your connectivity on last mile. We are doing it. We expect that anybody else can do it. It is a model which is simpler to follow and user driven. User wants it, just you can pull a fiber and do it the way we do for cable TV connection, and this is the way mostly it is in US also, to be frank. So, this is one more area we are working. So, let us see what more we can contribute in broadband, but main focus will remain that to facilitate government efficiency, government systems, government improvements by creating IT and a telecom solution to them. So, that is the main focus we are working with. This conference is more a matter of like a get together of all the experts in the industry, and we understand the need, because need of the industry, because we are working with most of these telecom operators, most of them are our customers, and we generally try to have a complementary approach, because for me there is no competitor. So, the government companies are working, we are getting into the space to provide redundancy. So, similar in this session, what I realized that the challenge people are facing is the access. Again, that is the biggest challenge. That is what and was the topic of our session, and the government is doing their bit, but the industry is also required to do their bit. Industry, because of the turmoil in the telecom sector, are not able to do much, and their business is getting hit by OTT players. So, that is the challenge. So, if you do more access, more broadband, more connectivity, so that is the direction in any case we are working, and that is the takeaway from this session. And probably with NOFN done by 2018, which we are quite optimistic, because issue gets resolved. So, we do not have any apprehension. So, things should be better for the Indian people at least. This is infrastructure which can be created fastest. You can't build road that fast, you can't create railway network that fast, but this is easiest to do and connect everyone.